Good morning, LOC family. Welcome to our Chapel Soul Sessions. In the spirit of the Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois, these gatherings are sacred and scholarly spaces where worship, witness, and communal reflection meet to cultivate intellectual rigor, spiritual grounding, cultural pride, holistic empowerment. Today, we continue our teaching series, Meeting the Moment Part 2. We gather not as spectators of history, but as participants in it, not only to analyze the moment, but to discern it, because moments carry weight. And some moments demand more than commentary, they demand clarity. Everybody say clarity. Black history teaches us that progress is rarely accidental. It is studied, it is spoken, it is stood upon, it is shaped by those willing to meet their time with courage rather than confusion. Today's format reflects that urgency. Rather than a traditional panel, you will hear a series of focused reflections, short, intentional, disciplined responses to questions that matter. What does it mean to be a student in this moment? What should we say in this moment? What should we study? Where should we stand? How should we shape what comes next? Each voice builds upon the other, not to overwhelm us, but to sharpen us. Before we continue, please take a moment to scan the QR code on the screen to mark your attendance. A few reminders. Social media content is primarily for those cleared through Magic 807 Radio. If you capture or share content, please tag Magic 807 appropriately. For those who wish to continue the dialogue beyond this session, please connect with Dr. Fisher immediately after chapel so we can schedule a public faith forum for students, faculty, and staff. We remain attentive to the voices of this campus community. We are grateful that many find these sessions meaningful, thoughtful, and spiritually grounding. We also value the critiques and insights that help us refine and strengthen this space. And to those who may approach chapel with hesitation, we ask for openness. Give us and give God a fair opportunity. Spirit-filled spaces are not about performance. They are about formation. They are not about conformity. They are about conscience. This campus is sacred ground, a training ground for courage, clarity, and collective responsibility. It stands in the lineage of our ancestors, scholars, organizers, and faith leaders who refused to miss their moment, and we must refuse to miss ours. I'm about to pull a Dr. Fisher. Everybody look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't miss your moment. So take a deep breath, settle your spirit, and prepare your mind. Let us rise together.
A week, rightfully so, transitioned into a month, celebrating the collective power, resilience, and hard work of African Americans in this country. But is 1 month enough to note the value of their story, our story?
Black history is an opportunity for us to reflect, to celebrate, and be reminded of the power of the legacy that we brought to this country.
It allows us to pause and remember the greatness of those who have paved the way.
Black history is the American story, and probably the most significant part of the American story.
It's looking at what our ancestors have done before us and taking the torch to continue to pay it forward.
It's the things that give us the foundation of who we are as a very unique group of people.
Black history is abundance.
Black history shows you what we're capable of.
It was the innovative creativity of our ancestors who created America to have all of the major interventions. So when we look at elevators and ironing boards and many of the conveniences that we have over here in America, that's Black history.
Black history is also what we continue to do in modern day civilization.
Black history is something that I work and live every single day of my life.
It is a legacy before us, and it's also creating a legacy for those behind us.
Black history is empowering.
Black history is us.
Black history is now.
Black history is 365.
Good morning, LOC family. How y'all doing today? Good morning. All right. In honor of Black history, we're going to sing A Change Is Gonna Come, okay? All right. was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know, yeah, a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
It's been too hard living, oh, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.
I go to the movie, then I go downtown. Whoa, 'cause I'm telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it
Yeah. But then I go to my brother. Yeah. And I said, brother, help me please. Yeah. But then he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh,
There's been times that I thought I wouldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on.
it's been a long time coming, but I know the change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will.
Come on, one more time. Put your hands together for the LOC Soul Singers. I'm going to say it again. If you can't clap right there, you probably just hating. So look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't hate, congratulate. And put your hands together one more time for the LOC Soul Singers. So thankful for them. Thank you to our chapel assistants. So thank you, Sister Kennedy, for giving us our opening remarks. I am going to share some grounding reflections as we situate ourselves in this second iteration of Meeting the Moment. And we are going to hear later from some wonderful people who have some wonderful insights and reflections to share with us. One is LeMoyne-Owen College's own Dr. Carlene Jackson. I want y'all to give it up for Dr. Jackson. As you can see, we have her picture on the graphic back here. Another is a fierce reporter with MLK 50, and if you don't know what MLK 50 Justice in Journalism is, especially if you are interested in English or journalism, you need to do your Googles right now. But Sister Brittany Brown, is she here? Hey, Brittany, come on up front. Yeah, Sister Brittany Brown, you're going to hear from her. Y'all see her picture up here on the graphic as well. Then there's one more person that you're going to hear from that is a LeMoyne-Owen College faculty member whose picture is on the graphic too. And I'm tempted to offer a prize for whoever knows who this person is on the graphic. For those who don't know, it is the Associate Professor of Political Science. Y'all give it up for Dr. James Mock, who we'll hear from. And we've also shared with y'all that when you come to the LOC Chapel Soul Sessions, there'll be community members who come and support and participate. And so I know we've already mentioned Sister Brittany Brown with MLK 50, but one of the most notable and renowned musicians and an Africologist in his own right, Brother Ekpe Abioto is here. Stand up, Brother Ekpe. So glad to have the Elder and the Baba here as we think about what it means to meet the moment. So I want to talk for about 5 or 6 minutes, and y'all know I be playing sometimes when I say that, but I'm serious. So for about 5 or 6 minutes about, here's the topic I'm going to use: don't miss the moment. Look at somebody, say, don't miss the moment. We gather today because moments matter. Not every moment carries the same weight, but some moments are heavy with consequence. Some moments are charged with possibility, and some moments, if mishandled or ignored, become regrets that we inherit rather than futures that we shape. Sacred text reminds us that one of the greatest dangers of people of faith is not opposition, it's actually misalignment. Jesus wept over Jerusalem not because they lacked religion, but because they, quote, did not recognize the time of their visitation. They missed the moment when God was moving in their midst. And to miss the moment is not simply to be distracted. It's to literally misread what the Spirit is doing in the moment. It's to apply outdated answers to right now questions. It's to confuse comfort with faithfulness. And right now, socially, politically, intellectually, culturally, and theologically, we are standing in a moment we cannot afford to miss. On the 4th Sunday of August in 1962, Ekpe, Reverend James Bevel preached a sermon in Ruleville, Mississippi, titled Discerning the Signs of the Times. The passage that he preached from was Matthew chapter 13, verse 3. The sermon inspired Fannie Lou Hamer to go register to vote for the first time the following Friday. If you don't know who Fannie Lou Hamer is, show your hand right quick. Wave your hand. You never heard the name Fannie Lou Hamer? You ain't the only one. Come on, y'all, don't be ashamed, especially if you're my students. You know what to do. Raise your hand high. So do your Googles. You should learn who Fannie Lou Hamer is. Bevel likely had no idea who he was reaching that day. We don't know how many people were in the pews. We don't know whether it was a packed house or a sparse gathering. We don't know the offering amount. We don't know if he got an honorarium. We don't know some of his technical homiletical techniques and mechanics. We don't know if he tuned, see, or hooped or squalled, Dr. Davis. We don't even know how polished his sermon was, if it was polished at all. There is so much that we do not know, but what we do know is this: a black preacher in a black faith space met the moment and helped a woman realize she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it moved her to act, not just for herself, but for all of us. And that's the power and the possibility that is literally impregnating the moment that we are in right now. Don't miss this moment. This is the power of teaching that meets the moment instead of mismanaging it. Ecclesiastes reminds us that to everything there is a season, there's a time for every purpose under heaven. That wisdom demands discernment. Say discernment. It's asking not only what time it is, but what does this time require of us? Don't miss this moment. The danger of missing the moment in the classroom is that you end up teaching without urgency, or studying ideas that are disconnected from the lives that they are shaping. Knowledge without conscience becomes a checklist, but not Black consciousness. The danger of missing the moment on campus is mistaking activity for purpose and confusing programming with transformation. Don't miss this moment. The danger of missing the moment in the community is retreating into abstraction while people are suffering in concrete ways. As the prophet Isaiah warned, worship that ignores justice is a hollow ritual. Somebody say, don't miss this moment. The danger of missing the moment theologically is assuming that God is only doing what God has done before, rather than believing that the same Spirit is still stirring courage, still stirring imagination and responsibility right now. Pentecost happened because people were paying attention. Esther was positioned for such a time as this. Sankofa teaches us to retrieve the past and not live there, but move forward with that information wisely. Meeting the moment requires all of our attention and all of our action. It is not somebody else's responsibility. It is yours. Don't miss this moment. Meeting the moment requires attention and action. It requires study. Say study. It requires speech. Say speech. It requires stance. Say stance. It requires service. Say service. And above all, it requires some humility. The humility to believe that God may be birthing something through us that we might not ever fully see. So this teaching is not about having the final word. It is about refusing silence where truth is needed. It's about asking better questions so that freedom fighters might still be born, because the greatest tragedy is not that the moment is difficult. The greatest tragedy is when you miss the moment altogether. We cannot afford to mismanage what God is doing in our midst. And I want you to take this with you as your classes are coming and you think it's okay to miss class. Don't miss the moment. Or as chapel is coming and you think it's okay to miss chapel. Don't miss the moment. Or as the news is unfolding and you think it's okay to keep scrolling. Don't miss the moment. This moment demands so much of us. And I just deeply believe we have the capacity and can build the consciousness to meet the moment. Somebody say Ashe and amen.
Amen, amen. Somebody look at your neighbor and just encourage them. Tell them, don't you give up. Don't you give up. It's a critical time to be alive here at LOC. I'm going to sing this little song and get on out the way. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Hallelujah. Real simple song. It just says, I can't give up now. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, but we just can't give up now. Up to you to decide, but how can I expect to win if I never tried? I just can't give up now. I come too far from started from. Nobody told me that this road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. So like I got some witnesses in the room. Never said there wouldn't be trials. Never said I wouldn't fall. Never said that everything would go the way I wanted to go. But when my back is against the wall and it seemed all hope is lost, I just lift my head up to the sky and say, help me to stay strong. Let's sing it together if you know it with me. Hey, sing, I just can't give up now. That's it. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Oh, no, you didn't leave me out here to leave me lonely. Even when I can't see clearly, I know that you are with me, so I just can't give up now. I come too far from where I started from. See, nobody told me that this road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Yes, sir. I can't give up now. I just, come on, y'all, can't give up now. Sing it like you believe it. I've come too far from where I started from. Oh, see, nobody told me that this road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. One more time, sing, I can't give up now. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. See, nobody told me that this road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Hey, how y'all doing today? My name is LeMoyne-Owen. I'm a sophomore here at the LeMoyne-Owen College, and I am here to give out a student statement. Can everybody hear me fine? All right. I just wanted to bring to our attention the greatness and historical environment that we as a student body have inherited from the students before us. Being a part of LOC should bring a real sense of pride, knowing that the people who walked this campus before us pushed past fear, pushed past doubt, and still continue to pour a legacy for us. I'm so sorry. And still left a legacy that continues to pour through us every single day that we step foot on this campus. We need more pride in going to this HBCU, the 5th oldest. And not only that, the faculty and staff should be the example of what it truly means to represent this HBCU. Most people choose to be here because they love the richness of the HBCU environment, and most importantly, the love that they have for their students, us. LeMoyne-Owen College was also a key site in the, I'm so sorry, I'm nervous, y'all. Okay. LeMoyne-Owen College was also a key site in the civil rights movement, helping educate and empower leaders who fought for justice and equality that the history still lives in us today. LOC is a historical landmark. We, us, the students who live on campus, wake up to that every single day. There's a reason when you walk past me or you catch me in my own world just being me, I walk with pride. The way I walk, the way I hold my head up, the way I dress. The way I hold, everything this school stands for, I try to be the example of it as a Memphian, not just a student. This is the only HBCU in the city that means something. What I'm saying is, if it wasn't for the students just like us taking things into their own hands, we wouldn't have access to the spaces that were once all white facilities. I mean that, a small campus, a small student body, but students who help change the nation. That's just one example of what we are capable of here. That's something anyone who goes here should want to stick their chest out about. Take the initiative to show yourself why you're here. Look within. I'm not saying that we don't show pride at all, but as a whole, including me, we could do more. Look at where we are. Look at what we represent. I believe in this student body, my class and every class, to show up for LOC and what it means. I thank everyone who continues to carry and protect the legacy of this institution.
I just want to say a few words about where I think that we are. And I'd like to give you some historical references. W.B. Du Bois wrote in his Souls of Black Folks back in 1903 that there was a need for African Americans to overcome their American upbringing with the African heritage. I think that Frantz Fanon, the psychoanalyst, later came on to analyze the problem, and he's looked at the problem in terms of two major works. One was Black Skin, White Mask, and the other, The Wretched of the Earth. What Fanon is basically concerned with was the question of our two-mindedness, the same that W.B. Du Bois had looked at. That what we have some inner conflict, and that inner conflict is manifesting itself because of the fact that we are, quote, out of our African minds. So I need to talk just a little bit about this African mind. The African mind requires that we respect our elders. Not only that, but it requires that we respect ourselves, that we have to appreciate our own blackness, that we do believe that we are shaped in the image of our own God, and that therefore this conflict is not necessary for us. However, our indoctrination has led us to this point. We don't like ourselves, therefore we do not have the capacity to like those that are like us. And that manifests itself because I see that we walk around and we do not greet each other. We're not happy to be around and among ourselves. We want to always escape. We're trying to create things that are not us. My grandmother used to say that two things you need to note, boy. One, you're going to be as black as long as you live, and when you die, you're going to get blacker, so you might as well straighten up and fly right. You need to stop trying to pretend that you're a European. You can go and take the pink hair, the red hair, and the green hair and put it to rest now and come on home. It's all right. It's okay. And not only then, not only then do we utilize the references of W.B. Du Bois and that of Frantz Fanon, but even the person who sought to help in the liberation of Ghana, if you will, Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah was concerned, and incidentally, he was educated in the United States. And for those of you that's going to go and do some scholarly work, that's capital Nkrumah. Nkrumah led this fight for liberation in Ghana. And of course, what he was concerned about, again, was the inability of Africans to speak for themselves, for the inability of Africans to manage for themselves. How long I got, Doc? Oh, great. All right. Okay, and so what we then need to do is we need to work on having a sense of belonging. And we can only have that sense of belonging when our pride is rooted in our history. Because if suddenly we feel that we have become nothing, then that's misleading. And we do not like ourselves as a result of this feeling of not being anything. We are somebody. Dr. King warned us and cautioned us that we should stand up. Jesse Jackson even told us, had us saying that we are somebody. So it becomes then important for us to see ourselves as Africans and not to be measured by European standards. We must find our own roots, be able then to master those roots, return to those roots, take the beauty of those roots. I want all of us to, at least if we do nothing else, feel free to greet each other. It's okay to greet each other. Stop walking around like you're angry with each other. Greet, feel safe, feel secure. Again, I'd invite you to take some of my classes too. I teach political science department. I got some politics of black folks, and come on, join in with me. Come on, my sister.
I am Carlene Jackson. I'm a professor here at LeMoyne-Owen. I am an educator and an intellectual warrior. In this country, nothing haunts like history, except for the present, which is compounded by history. When I was a little girl growing up in the Caribbean, an island called St. Kitts, one of my high school teachers made us memorize Claude McKay's "If We Must Die" by heart. And we had to say it morning after morning after morning. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while around us bark the mad and hungry dogs. And to be honest with you, at that time, I had no idea what it was about. Claude McKay's poem was written in response to mob attacks upon whites in the upon African Americans by whites in the United States during Red Summer 1919, when there were race riots after race riots and the lynching nightmare that went with that. So when I found out that was the background, I said, well, you know, I'm gonna need this. Just forward to a couple of years later, I'm a student in college, Stillman College here. And I'm like, wow, I really do need this. So I take out my Claude McKay and I refresh my mind. And it says, you know, what though before us lies that open grave? Like men and women, we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. I was in combat mode. When I was done with Stillman, I went on to graduate school and I went back to Stillman and taught there. I went to Lane College, I taught there. While I was at Lane, I was one of the I was in charge of Student Success Center, and I watched hundreds of Memphian first-year students crash and burn. And I said, Lord, what is going on? So I said, I'm gonna find out for myself, I'm gonna do some research. So I came into the public school system in Memphis, and I spent a year or two there. And my God, students crashing and burning, 3 out of 10 reading at grade level, fighting with the teachers, calling themselves the N-word. And I said, okay, we got an issue. I was prepared to do the fight. in another country with students that looked like me. And then one day, the President of the United States called the place where I came from S-hole countries. Well, I was so offended, I was ready to go back home. I was ready to go. I thought seriously since then about self-deporting, even though I'm a U.S. citizen by naturalization. But the more I thought about it, I said, I have to apologize to Marcus Garvey, who did the groundwork, and he got worse than that, because they did a one on him, they threw him in prison and then sent him back home. I would have to apologize to Stokely Carmichael, the Black Power movement, another Caribbean-descended person. I would have to apologize to Shirley Chisholm, who had the nerve to run for president. I would have to apologize to my mother, a nurse in Gainesville, who had to tell her white patrons that the white patients, that slavery days are over. You see, I have that great cloud of witness you talked about, Dean. All these Caribbean people who came with a Pan-Africanist consciousness saw the same fight and just simply joined it, because really there's no more option. If somebody's oppressing you, you got to get them up off you. And so I had to talk to myself about how to stand. And I am standing right here, right now. So how do you stand? I have 3 quick suggestions. Cover yourselves. Don't make yourself a target. As an immigrant, I know not to place myself in the full glare of the spotlight in the struggle without my whole armor on. So put your armor on. Be accountable to someone. I got my best friend Susan, who's worried about me getting snatched, and I got to check in with her every day until I'm fine. And I appreciate that, because Susan is a white American. And she's my best friend. Know where the potholes are. Those potholes were created by unresolved issues in our history. And I tell my students all the time, you're going to get stuck if you don't know how to emancipate yourselves. How else do you stand? You situate yourself strategically and yield no ground. Once you put your feet on it, it's yours. Don't give it up. I don't care what they do. Yield no ground. So my legacy is being established. I don't care what they do. So I go into classrooms across this country. I inculcate a fighting spirit in my students. I have started right here by trying to get them out of the back of the classroom, because I said, Rosa Parks, Claudette Colvin, that's done. In a room filled of empty chairs, pick the best one, and that's in the front, right in front of the teacher. I said, make the connection between then and now. That's what you do with history. This is not about the past. This is about the way in which your history keeps coming back around with middle passages that keep trying to destroy you. And I said, do you have your combat boots on? And some of my students do. Jolinda, got yours on. I can tell. And if they don't, I said to my Hollis Prize scholars, there's nobody like you. There's nobody better than you. Because some of them don't know that. I said to my ASAP students who are stuck behind the screen of their computers, say, better make your presence felt. If I don't see you, if I don't hear you, you're not here. I say, in this country, do not marginalize yourself. Do not help your oppressors oppress you. And sometimes my students are looking at me like, she got to be crazy. But you know, there's an urgency in the now. And I am determined that if I'm here, I'm going to do some damage. I'm going to make sure that my life stands for something. So, like Claude McKay wrote a poem, this one is called Black Girls Don't Cry. I'm gonna wrap up with this. I win some, I lose some. I look at my life rife with contradiction, but I stand intrepid upon the ruggedness of time. I hold back the tears, refuel, and fire.
Hi, good morning, slash almost afternoon. I feel very honored to go after Jolanda, Dr. Mock, and Dr. Jackson. As Dr. Fisher said, my name is Brittany Brown. I'm from Mississippi. I'm very proud to be from Mississippi. Thank y'all for welcoming me to Memphis. I've been here for 3 years now, working as a reporter for MLK 50, Justice Through Journalism, covering issues of public safety and justice. But the way I really like to define it is covering issues of community safety. So what makes the community feel safe? And some things that are going on right now in our community. Raise your hand if you've heard or seen the news about the Memphis Safe Task Force that's been going on here in the city. Have y'all been seeing more officers, more highway patrol, more undercover vehicles, unmarked vehicles riding around in your neighborhoods, riding around, probably around the perimeter of this campus? How many of you also know that this year is the 160th anniversary of the 1866 Memphis Massacre that also occurred right here in this region of the city? And so, you know, like Jolanda, like Dr. Jackson, and like Dr. Owens, Dr. Mock, were saying right before me, talking about history, talking about taking the lessons from the past and applying it to right now, talking about having pride. None of this stuff that we're experiencing right now here in Memphis, here in the South, here in this very black city, is by accident. And so if we look at the violence that happened in 1866 and really what that was in the aftermath of, which was the emancipation of enslaved people and folks coming to Memphis, coming to South Memphis particularly because it was a safe haven, and then seeing white people totally burn it down to the ground. We have to think about the way in which that is happening in amorphous ways today. Like Dr. Jackson just said, if they don't see you, they don't know that you exist. And right now we have decision makers in this city, decision makers of this state, and decision makers of this federal government that are making choices on your livelihood, determining what you will have and what you won't have, what your outcomes in life will be and what they won't be. And so it's just important to get involved. My question that Dr. Fisher asked me to address was, what do we need to be shaping for the next moment? And what I heard the folks coming before me talk about was community. As they were talking about having pride and walking around this campus, having pride and knowing your history, making sure you're reading Fanon, making sure you're reading W.E.B. Du Bois, making sure you know who Fannie Lou Hamer, a very strong black Mississippi woman, making sure you know who Ida B. Wells is, who built an empire in Memphis, also from Mississippi. Mississippi and Memphis has a lot in common. But what I want to say is that right now, we just released an article, MLK 50 did this week, looking at the first 3 months of arrests. The task force got here at the end of September. They began their work in earnest in October, November, and December. In those first 3 months, they made more than 3,000 arrests. That's not taking into account all the traffic stops. Have any of y'all been pulled over in the last 3 months? Yeah. Out of those more than 3,000 arrests, 94% of those arrests were of black and brown people. Only 6% of those arrests were of white people. And people may see that and say, oh, well, we live in a majority black city, of course. No, it's disproportional because we did the math, we looked at all the records, and we saw that non-white people, black and brown people, were 6 times more likely to be arrested than white people. Even though studies have shown time after time that white people are actually the ones more likely to be driving around with contraband, like firearms, like drugs, so on and so forth. So if we think about what happened here in this city in 1866, the sort of apex of state violence, and we're looking at what's happening right now, when not even 5 years ago, it was just, 3 years ago, that we saw the flashpoint moment that was Tyree Nichols. we have to see the interconnectedness of all of this. So, so my offering is to just build community. Look at your neighbor. And I come from Mississippi where we speak to everybody. Speak to your people. Get to know your neighbor. Get to know the people in your classroom. And particularly for the students who are currently enrolled here, you are in a space that you will never, ever have the opportunity to be in again. You are sitting in classrooms with giants, with wealths of information, with folks who are literally walking libraries. Ask them questions. Make sure they know who you are. And make sure you know who your peers are. You know, a lot of times we talk about networking and building community, and we think about, oh, we have to network up. We have to build community build community across. Look to the person that's in the classroom with you, that shared a dorm with you, that's in your Greek organization with you, that's in anything, because we need each other. And then go and show up to something that you are concerned about. If there is something in your life right now that you are unhappy with that has to do with a system, you have the power to change it. Not as an individual, but as a community, as a Memphian, as a registered voter, as someone who your council member knows who you are, your board member knows who you are. These people are accountable to you. So I just encourage y'all to get involved, get informed. Just know that history is very much so alive and well. I would love to be in touch with everybody in the room. Follow MLK 50, and I just thank y'all for welcoming me into this illustrious space. This is my first time on campus, so thank you, Dr. Fisher, and Black Power.
Come on, one more time. I want you to give it up for all of those who have shared their reflections. Thank you. Dr. Jolanda, ain't that what they called you earlier? Dr. Jolanda, thank you. Dr. Mock, thank you. Dr. Jackson, thank you. Brittany Brown. One more time for all of them. It is our task and challenge as the Chapel Soul Sessions Committee to provide space and opportunity for the entirety of our campus, the students, the faculty, the staff, the administration, and also the broader community, to encounter scholarship and spirituality that can literally change your life. I believe what we have heard today from all of those who have shared their experiences and perspectives, whether it be in song, whether it's in music, whether it's in these wonderful reflections from these wonderful people, they are challenging us to not miss the moment we're in, to not take so much of this so lightly that you think the only thing you're supposed to do is check off a requirement box. Well, Dr. Fisher said be here, so no, it's bigger than that. Well, the administration said no, it is bigger than that. There is something that the Spirit is doing in this space, and it is our collective and communal responsibility to manage the moment properly. So every time these opportunities come around, consider them to be training opportunities where you receive insight and information and inspiration. And I know that there are others who want to continue to help us enhance and cultivate and build what is happening here. This is a special moment that we are in. And if we mismanage it, we will be in a compromised position for several generations. So think about what is happening in your classroom. Think about what is happening on your campus. Think about what is happening in our community, and make sure you meet the moment and don't miss it. Initially, we wanted to plan some time for Q&A. Here's what I think would be the best usage of the rest of our time. We're going to conclude the formality of our soul session for the day. But I don't want you to hurry up and rush out like all you had to do was check off a box for your attendance. You've heard some wonderful things from some wonderful people. There were some wonderful names mentioned, and some of you attested to the fact that you did not know much about, let's just say, Fannie Lou Hamer. How many of you have ever heard of Claude McKay? Only a few, right? How many of you had not heard of Frantz Fanon, Marcus Garvey, James Bevel? These are your elders and your ancestors in the spirit and in scholarship. And you've heard people mention them, which means they've had some encounter with them. You should take some time before you leave. Ask Dr. Mock a question or two. Ask Dr. Jackson a question or two. Brittany Brown really did an informal survey. She's going to write about this. Why? She's like, I was at LeMoyne-Owen, and 80% of the students said that they did, right? Okay, so take a moment and talk to her. Talk to us. Get some information. And to Brittany's point, talk to your neighbors, your classmates, the counselors, the professors, even the ones whose class you are not taking. And I agree with Dr. Mock. I love that shameless plug. Take his classes. Take Dr. Jackson's classes. Take our classes. And get the most out of your experience here. Don't leave this space with regrets. Because if you mismanage the moment, you're going to mess around and find yourself 10 years and 20 years from now talking about I woulda, I coulda, and I shoulda. You have an opportunity now. So let's make the most of it. One more time, put your hands together for all those who have shared with us. I want to share an announcement on behalf of Dr. Ruth Washington. Is she here? Wave your hand, Dr. Washington. Is she here? She stepped out. She gave me this assignment, and I told her next time she's going to have to come up here and do it herself, but I'm going to do it. This is the Health Equity Week. It started on February 9th, and it's going through to February 14th. It is part of the LeMoyne-Owen College HBCU Wellness Program. And so there are events that are happening every day. This evening, they have a session for anxiety in women. It is in GOH 319. It starts at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow, there is a session on cardiovascular disease in adult men. It is also at GOH 319, starting at 4 o'clock. On Friday, prostate cancer in young males. It is actually starting at in GOH 319 at 11 o'clock on Friday morning. And they have something on next Monday, next Tuesday. If you do not know where Dr. Ruth Washington's office is, it's on the 3rd floor right before you get to 308. Y'all can stop by there and ask her any questions about this, and we want you to continue to support all of the efforts that are happening here on campus. Thank you to each of our presenters and to every member of the LOC community who showed up today ready to listen, think, and engage. You did not experience a debate. It was not a traditional panel of sorts. This was a dialogue that calls for our discernment. We heard reflections on how to speak with courage, how to study with seriousness, how to stand with integrity, and how to shape what is coming next. This is what Black colleges have always cultivated: disciplined thought through joined and moral responsibility. Meeting the moment does not mean reacting to everything. It means responding to the right things with clarity, conscience, and community. Again, if you have not already signed in, please take a moment. Devin, if you put the QR code on the screen, make sure you scan that to confirm your attendance. And if you're in my class, you already know what time it is. I'll see you tomorrow. If today stirred questions or concerns or commitments within you, do not let that energy dissipate. Help us continue the dialogue. We will produce some faith forums and campus conversations if this is what you would desire. But as we leave this space, may we not mismanage what is unfolding in our midst. May we study deeply. May we speak truthfully. May we stand firmly. May we shape faithfully. The moment is here, so let us meet it. And I want all of God's people to say Ashe and Amen. Consider yourselves dismissed.
Thank you.